What up, it's your girl Najee. Everybody hates K, but everything golden. And you're listening to T7M Radio with my man's Mr. Irrelevant. Yeah.
Now, we done seen the last couple weeks, J.O., the Giants as an organization kind of speaking out publicly. It started with the coach. Then Eli spoke probably the next week against them. Then we just had the general manager, Jerry Reese. He just spoke out against Odell publicly. And I'm not quite sure if Odell is really being a distraction or if it's really a deception, because the Giants really are not playing well overall, even despite the behavior that Odell is displaying. I just don't think that the Giants, who I did pick to come out of the NFC, I just don't think they're playing well overall, especially Eli. So I'm surprised that he was the one to talk and, you know, not back his guy. But what's your opinion on Odell Beckham and his ways? Do you think he a distraction to the Giants, or is this just a deception?
I don't think he's a distraction on the field. Maybe doing interviews when teammates and coaches have to answer questions that have something to do with him. But on the field, he seemed to have one-on-one battles and heated moments with the opposition. You know, it's not like a Terrell Owens where he's attacking teammates and coaches. He seemed to be competitive and he going against the opposition. So that just tells me if he wins or if he's performing, then you wouldn't see these outbursts. I don't think he's a detriment to the team. I just think the team is tired of answering questions about him. But on game day, I don't see him being a distraction.
I already told you a couple weeks ago I felt like Odell is overrated. You thought I was being crazy, but I will repeat myself. I'm gonna be honest. I think the O in OBJ stands for overrated. I mean, he spoke about the whole situation. This is what he said about being fined. I just have to understand, if I sneeze the wrong way, it will be a flag. It will be a fine. If I tie my shoes the wrong way, it might be a fine or a flag. It is what it is. You have to understand that. As tough as it is to understand that for a 23-year-old who has been blessed with a lot of that God has given to me, an amazing amount of ability and an amazing amount of everything, it seems like it's always working against you. Now, I done told you before that he's a crybaby to me. And that's why I call him Odell Beckham. I feel like he's overrated for the simple fact that he has an amazing skill set. But he does not have the intangibles, in my opinion, to be that number one receiver. If you ask me who's the real number one receiver out of New York, it's Victor Cruz. If it was not, because mind you, before Victor got hurt, man.
You was so disrespectful, it's comical.
What?
He was never a top 5, but he was top 10. That was, I want to say, about 4 years ago. I give him that title.
Oh, you're so disrespectful. Who was the top wide receiver for New York in 2013 then? Because Odell just came on the scene in 2014.
But like, you saying who was on the Giants? Oh, yeah, he was the number one receiver on the Giants. But once Odell stepped foot on the facility, it was Odell from the start.
No way. No way. He was hurt. He was hurt. That's why OBJ got the light and off of that one catch.
Oh, wait a minute. We got Cruz. This is his first time playing in what? It's almost been 2 years.
And look what he does. Look the immediate impact that he had in the first game of the season. Like, they won the game. I'm not going to say you can't win the game. I'm not going to say they won the game off of his one play at the end. But he has so much heart. He has that attitude to be that one that OBJ does not have, and I don't know. And it's going to be a while before OBJ possesses it, if he ever does.
He barely even made it.
Come on, man. You should be banned from talking football in October. I asked you at the beginning of the show, are you going to be disrespectful? How are you prepared to what we're going to do? Like, Victor Cruz is almost, if he wasn't hurt, man, he would be an elite wide receiver. Elite. Definitely top 5.
If he wasn't hurt, you know who else got hurt? Joe Thousand broke a leg. Bo Jackson messed his hip up. So it injuries goes with the game. So hey, I can't help the guy got injured. If Adrian Peterson get hurt, he'd be the number one running back going right now.
Well, the Giants has been reported, J.O., that the New York Giants will be benching OBJ if he makes one more outburst. What's your thoughts on that move?
I think that's a pump fake. How you gonna? I mean, you gonna bench him, but then you gonna put him in most of the passing plays. I mean, you gonna bench him for a quarter. I don't understand what they mean about benching, because if they can't win with him, they certainly can't win without him. So all it is just PR for the media to let them know that they taking the situation serious, and just to get Odell, get him refocused. That's all it is. It's nothing serious.
Are you surprised to see Eli and them speak out week after week, the wide receiver, like that?
I'm surprised nobody not speaking out on Eli not making the playoffs the last 2 or 3 years in his play in the first quarter of the season. So I'm not even understanding why Eli even having opinions. I mean, albeit he's a 2-time champion, I'm not going to totally disrespect, but I'm going to put things in perspective. He haven't made the playoffs and I want to say 3 seasons, so I don't really want to see Eli talking about another player in any way.
That's where I'm going at with the whole distraction or deception. You know, I think maybe them speaking out publicly on the shortcomings of OBJ is a diversion of what's really going on in the organization. You know what I mean? The shortcomings that the team as a whole is having. You know what I mean? Nobody's really taking any type of responsibility for really what's going on. It seems like it's a lot of finger pointing. I'm surprised. I've never seen a team week by week in different fractions speak out on a teammate that's not a troublemaker, or that's not doing things off the field criminally. Like I said, when the head coach did it a couple weeks ago, that drew a flag at me, because I'm like, this is your first year. You was an offensive coordinator, but you really hadn't even gained the respect to say that he needs to do this, that, and the third publicly like that, only 2 weeks into the season. Then we got Eli coming after that. Then you got the general manager. It's like, you got a coach, you got the player, now you got the front office. And he's already emotional. I don't know if OBJ is going to be able to take this heat in New York.
I don't know, man. It just seems like the media and a lot of fans just have a problem with diva-like receivers. I mean, we can go down the list of how many receivers that have gotten probably unwarranted attention and criticism for certain things. I mean, they just find them for everything. I mean, look at Antonio Brown. All this guy doing is dance, and he got a $25,000 fine. So, I mean, I think the position has a lot to do with it. And people see that, wild, crazy, young African-American just having fun, being freely and everything is a problem. So, I don't know, man.
Week 1, Beckham was involved in a group celebration that cost him about $12,000. Week 2, he was docked about $36,000 for a hit against the Saints safety, Kenny Vaccaro, I think that's his name. And now you got the $24,000 fine from the game against Minnesota. That's like $73,000 in fines through the first 4 games of the season for Odell. Now, I know he's a crybaby, but is he a target? I mean, in the NFL, like, have you seen anything that OBJ has done in the last 2 seasons that would warrant the NFL to make him to be a target? I can understand if the players don't respect certain things that he do on social media, call him out, speak on his sexuality, do things like that. I understand that on a field play, but do you think that the NFL is targeting him for some reason? Because this is a lot of money for a guy that's not really not a bad guy. You know what I'm saying? And then being at the wide receiver position, $73,000 in the first 4 games, that's damn near beyond T.O. numbers.
Well, it all started last season when him and Josh Norman had their little battle on the field, and the 2 personal foul penalties and automatic ejection. It resorted from OBJ behaviors in that the Carolina game against Norman last year. So not only is he a target, he's an easy target because, you know, he's continuing on these outbursts and just being a detriment on the sideline. So I guess they just using him for example. They're going to set example, and they're going to set precedents, and they're going to continue to find him. And OBJ being the competitor and emotional athlete that he is, he's going to continue to display these things. He probably may tone it down, but I don't think it'll be all the way toned down. So he's obvious easy target for the NFL because they're dealing with a loose cannon.
This is the Best of 7 Sports Talk, T7M Radio with 7 Mitchell and J.O. Callers, y'all call up 347-989-8102. Make sure y'all subscribe again to the T7M Radio YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter, T7M Radio.